Look, if you are still watching this, I know where your head is. You've moved past the retail noise. You aren't checking for coin market cap every 10 minutes, and you are not chasing the latest alpha on X. You're here because you feel the ground is shifting. You've built something, maybe a portfolio, a legacy, and you can sense that the old ways of protecting it are becoming obsolete in real time. Today is March 2026, and in exactly 154 days away from August 2, 2026, if that date doesn't mean anything to you yet, it's real by the time we are done here. This is the day the EU AI Act Regulation 2024 to 1689 becomes the primary enforcement engine for every financial move you make. Now, I hear the experts in Zurich and Singapore talking. They are telling their client that it's just a GDPR for AI. They are telling you it's just about ethics and bias. They are structurally dangerously wrong. GDPR was about privacy. The AI Act is about technical sovereignty, specifically who has the final kill switch over your digital assets. The Act creates a category called a high-risk AI systems. By August, this includes the automated logic that decides your credit score, your banking limits, and even your eligibility to move capital across a border. If you're a high net worth individual, you spent a decade building a portfolio or a legacy, you have the Swiss account, the Caribbean trusts, and the automated trading bot. But in the eyes of the August 2nd protocols, you are not a client anymore. You're a data set that needs to be audited for unacceptable risks. The door is closing and is being replaced by a digital mirror that reports directly to Brussels. This is the end of the hidden well. If they can see you, they can seize you and your assets. Let's get into the source code of how they actually do it. I want you to look at my screen. This is Article 77 of the official journey. It's titled Powers of Authority Protected Fundamental Rights. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But look at the paragraph 1. It says natural authority shall have the power to request and access any documentation created or maintained under this law. Let's translate that from legal to technical. Imagine you trigger a $250,000 wire transfer for a real estate deal. The bank's AI flags it. In 2025, you get a call from a compliance officer. But in August 2026, that AI is legally mandated to maintain a mirror log. This isn't about a record of the transfer. It's a full forensic trail or dataset used to verify you, the system architecture, and the logic that decides whether to allow that money to move. Under Article 77, the government doesn't need a warrant for your house. They just need a documentation request for the bank's AI. They call this transparency. I call it pre-seizure audit. If that documentation is imperfect, Article 77, paragraph 2 gives them the power to run technical testing on the system itself. They can literally step into the bank's digital machine and test your private transactions to evaluate the logic. By the time your lawyer even knows there is a problem, the AI has already testified against you in an immutable law. You aren't innocent until proven guilty. You are high risk until the AI is recalibrated. The law doesn't care about your intent anymore. It only cares about the documentation the machine generated about you. I want to show you why this is a totalizing system. We need to look at the Annex III. This is the hit list, the areas the EU has labeled high risk. It's not just about facial recognitions or weapons. Section 5 of the Annex III explicitly targets access to and enjoyment of essential private services. This covers the AI systems used to evaluate your creditworthiness or establish your credit score. It covers the AI used for risk assessment, life and health insurances. But why does this matter to you, PLM architect? Because in 2026, your financial reputation isn't a number in a database. It is a live, breathing dataset mirrored to regulators under Article 77. If your automated trading bot in the Caymans interacts with an EU-regulated exchange, that exchange's AI is now a high-risk node. It has to keep log of your trades, your IP history, and your source of wealth. If that exchange wants to keep its license in euro, it has to let Brussels test its logic whenever they want. This is a global dragnet. You think you are outside the blast zone because you aren't in Paris. If your liquidity touches the EU, you are in the mirror. I get this question every week. Jay, why would my bank betray me? I've been a top-tier client for 20 years. See, the answer is cold. It's hard math. It's in Article 99. Look at the screen. Non-compliance with these rules carries a fine of £35 million, or 7% of total worldwide armor turnover, which is higher. If your bank does $20 billion in turnover, that 7% fine is $1.4 billion. Do you really think a compliance officer in Zurich is going to risk $1.4 billion fine to protect your $10 million account? No. In 2026, the cost of loyalty is an existential threat to banks. Your bank isn't your partner. They're a government contractor. They are incentivized to flag you and hand over your technical logs the second Article 77 request hit their desk. HNWI's think moving their data to Switzerland saves them from Oppos's second deadline. Wrong. The Act has massive extraterritorial reach. If the output of the AI, like a risk profile, is used in the EU, the Act applies. Your Swiss vault is managed by an AI compliance engine in Frankfurt. Your data is in a mountain, but your mirror log is in Brussels. You haven't escaped. You just moved the entrance. So what's the move? If the system is designed to mirror you, you have to become technical noise. You move from cloud tenancy to zero-knowledge architecture. As of February, institutional capital is shifting into sovereign cloud for a reason. An $80.4 billion risk. They are building physical walls that an Article 75 audit can't climb. For my client, this starts with the sovereign node. We stop relying on third-party high-risk AI to manage our wealth. We move on to precise hardware, where the documentation mandate has those central targets. We use layer 5 SOC 5 mobile bridges so that the bank's AI doesn't see a high-risk ghost on a VPN. It sees a local resident on a 5G connection. By building a physical citadel, you ensure that even if they audit the AI, they find a black hole where your documentation should be. You stay within the law, but you move at a frequency the AI isn't calibrated to track. In 2026, privacy isn't a toggle on an app. It's a fortress you build yourself. The final layer is capital mobility. If your liquidity is trapped in a centralized exchange, it's already documented. We settle via non-custodial bridges and the Lightning Network. This is instant finality. No swift delays, no purpose of transfer or phone calls, and no centralized data set for Article 77 auditor to seize. Smart money is decoupling now. In this implementation window, if you wait until the end of 2026, you aren't building a citadel, you are trying to escape a prison that is already locked. Look at this trust score on my screen. This is what it looks like to be invincible to the machine. You have to decide if you're a digital tenant or a sovereign architect. I take exactly 2 private clients a month for the sovereign audit. We don't just talk theory. We run a full diagnostics on your technical exposure, your IP scores, your data residency, your capital mobility. Now we build a citadel before the door locks permanently on August 2nd. If you are moving over $1 million and you realize your bank is a government mirror, the link is in the description. Apply for the audit. The fee is $1,500 because I build citadels. I don't narrate news. And I'll see you in the next one.